How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is Lost Heroes of the Golden Age, and today we are going to be doing
the mighty Hercules.
No, we're doing Hercules.
Last time you said it was Hercules.
That's because last time it was Hercules. This time it is Hercules.
Why is it Hercules and not Heracles?
Because this one isn't based off of folklore. This is the mispronunciation that everybody's been using over the years. And since this is an American creation that was created in America, because they even say he's American, we're going to go with the mistranslated version, and we're going to go ahead and call him Hercules, because I'm more than fairly certain that that's what they were thinking when they called this guy that. So we're going to go with
Hercules?
Yes, Hercules. Very good.
What about next time?
I don't think we're going to be doing this mystical figure again, so it doesn't matter about the names. We got it straightened. Okay. That's right. This time we are doing Hercules, and I'm guessing that that is what they're going with because they're using this as a last name, and he was born in America, so I'm guessing that we're going with the mispronunciation of the name, which actually would be Hercules. Now, he did have some slight popularity when he first came out, because I don't think that there were many supernaturally strong characters out there, which he happens to be. The pinnacle of his strength hasn't even been measured. He lifts up a fire truck at one point, but he does it so effortlessly, it makes me wonder where the limit of his powers could actually be. Also in another one, he's tearing apart an oil derrick. Now, this got to be incredibly strong. I think the reason he didn't keep going in his popularity is because after a while, the story can get a little uncompelling. Yes, he has been knocked out and he has been subdued, but it only lasted for a short period of time. He always ended up fixing the problems in the end. He's a hero. This is the 40s. That's the way it goes. Now, I know at least in one issue he fought the Japanese because they were colored yellow and they were saying we're sabotaging the Americans, and I believe that he fought the Nazis at least once. But he did get phased out, and with his being phased out, some more of the patriotic started taking his place. But in the 21 issues that he was in, he did have more cover appearances than the other characters and more featured stories at his time. Now, in the beginning, they were rotating the covers because they were trying to show all the people that were in these. Usually they would show their cover and then they would list the names of the people, but quality didn't do comic books the way other people did. Like, if this was MLJ, your hit comic takes the cover and then you might mention other stuff. And that's the way Fox would do it too. But Quality liked to debut all their heroes to let you know that they had a number of them, giving all of their people a chance to shine because you might like another person if you know about them. So he didn't always take the cover, but he was pretty popular at the time. Like I said, he started getting phased out in his last couple issues until he was gone, and Quality replaced him with some of his other stuff. But we do have a review on him. He is mildly interesting, even if he's wearing the short shorts. And if you've watched my videos for a while, I hate male superheroes wearing the short shorts. It does not look good. So let's go ahead and cover Hercules, and you can see why for at least a little while he got popular. I think the introduction to more strongmen in comic books might have also been another reason for his decline. So let's get into this. Hercules, Joe Hercules, first appeared in Hit Comics #1, 1940. The original publisher was Quality. He was created by Greg Powers and Dan Zanierowicz, which I may have butchered that name, but that's how it looks like. Hercules appearing on the pages of Hit Comics, he had a little bit of a measure of popularity there. He appeared in 21 issues, and in those issues, he had 9 cover appearances and 14 featured stories. I think that the fact that he was a strong man is what gave him a measure of popularity, but it didn't last for very long. Because after issue 17, he was no longer on any more covers or the featured story after that. He had an interesting premise at first. Now, let's get this out of the way. He is a strong man. He has what could be considered the powers of Hercules. He is Hercules. And the reason we're calling him Hercules is he was born and raised in America. And it says that, growing up in Northwoods, America. I have no idea what state that is. So considering that he is an American creation, we're going with Hercules instead of Heracles, because he's not folklore. Now, as being Hercules, he has an incredible amount of strength. In one issue, we saw him picking up a fire truck and taking it to the location where they needed the fire truck at, because it couldn't get there. And these things are incredibly heavy. I thought that his pinnacle of his strength was him lifting an African bull elephant and throwing it. But the fire truck is actually heavier than the African bull elephant. Now, he is incredibly strong, incredibly durable, and he does have a measure of intelligence as well. Some of the stuff he does is quirky, but he's not stupid. Like, in one issue, they show him breaking into jail to get some rest because he's being hounded by everybody. Now, the durability thing has often made me perplexed by this, because he is strong enough to stop bullets. And in one issue, he's leaping towards a helicopter airplane, which seemed to be popular back then, and he says he has to be careful of the blades or it will slice him in half. Yet we've seen him being thrown off of a building, thrown off of a bridge with cement shoes, because they got the drop on him at night, a boulder being dropped on him, and it barely even registered that this was happening to him. So I don't think that the blades of the helicopter airplane is going to do anything for him. In fact, it shows him grabbing these blades and breaking them on a number of these planes. So I don't see how the durability thing is even remotely an issue. He did leap in one issue, but that was part of his strength. We know that the incredibly strong people have incredible leaping powers. It's just a part of them being strong. And it doesn't really advance far from him being strong and durable. He's often getting shot at and deflecting bullets. And in one issue, they showed him jumping out of the way from being shot at, which also really made me question why. He's incredibly durable. He's been shown to be bulletproof. Why would jumping out of the way of bullets be an issue? And it's not like the bullets bounced off of him and goes, oh, those tickle. No, he didn't even register that he's being shot. In fact, in one issue, he mentions to someone that shooting him is useless. So him jumping out of the way of guys shooting him with a number of bullets doesn't make any sense. It's inconsistencies like that which get a little confusing. Now, I am not a fan of his outfit. Now he wears the short shorts, which it's related to being a strong man. In the circus, the strong men would wear the strongman shorts and show how powerful they were. I'm not a fan of the short shorts on male superheroes. Now, he sometimes would wear a cape, sometimes he wouldn't, and he had the boots. So, cape, short shorts, boots. That's it. Now, in a number of issues, they did show him wearing suits, and then he would, like a suit and tie, and then he would be in his superhero outfit, and sometimes the suit that he was wearing would be destroyed. But we don't see a viable source of income, so we don't know how he's affording these new outfits. So, incredibly strong, incredibly durable, but not above being able to be captured. We've shown him being drugged, we've shown him being gassed, and we show that he is not above being able to be captured. They had him encased in a stone statue. I'm going to show that one right here. They got the drop on him, and they got him into a massive amount of concrete, and I think they were using energy to keep it held steady. But it even said that they had him encased for a couple of weeks. So I'm guessing that food and water is not an issue, but he has been gassed, he has been drugged. So he's not without a sense of... Well, I was thinking that he was completely uncompelling because nothing could stop him. But he can be stopped. So an element of... What do they call that? When you can actually be put in danger. Anyways, it shows that he can be subdued, but he always recovers and he wins in the end. Most of the crime fighting that he did was fighting, I guess you could say, racketeering. He always started out where the crime was on a low level and he had to work his way to the head guy and take him down. And he always could because he was unstoppable. So he could be subdued at times because he had been. On more than one occasion, he's been gassed and drugged and captured. He always recovers. He always breaks out at the end. And that's just it. He is your typical strong man, which I don't know how common strong men were back then. I mean, we've seen a number of guys who are bulletproof and have a measure of super strength, but I don't know how many people besides maybe Superman who could match the strength that this Hercules was able to project. I mean, he's incredibly strong. So let's go ahead and we'll cover the first issue, and you can see where he was going and his slight popularity that he had for a little while. And I don't know if it was just the disillusion of heroes or if more strong men started to make the scene and he got lost in the crowd. But he only lasted for 21 issues when more heroes were able to go on farther than him. So let's go ahead and cover the first issue, and you can see kind of what they were going with, because he's pretty much just the same person in all the issues. He's a good character, good sense of morals, and wants to act in the confines of the law, even if sometimes he has to go outside of it to get the case solved or get the bad guys being brought in. So he sometimes has to go a little bit out of the law, but he tries to stay within it. So let's go ahead. Like I've said this a number of times, let's cover the first issue. Comic book magazine fans have for some time now been following the adventures of various strongmen. True, they are indeed all powerful, amazing, and unusual, but there still remains one great powerful man of might whose astounding adventures are yet to be told. He didn't come from another planet. He wasn't made by a mad scientist or by some other fantastic manner. He's a real American youth, born in Northwoods and imbued with the greatest strength mortal man has ever possessed. Hercules! I do not like this splash page. I know they're trying to show him holding up the letters, but it is wrong. It is so very wrong. Our story opens at a state fair of a Midwest city. Great crowds have gathered at one booth to marvel at the great strength of Joe Hercules, which is earning him a tidy sum. State fair. Okay, so we see him showing off for everybody, basically. At the close of the fair, well, kid, what are you going to do with your dough? I'm going to use the money I earned to pay off the mortgage. You got a lot of talent, kid. As your manager, well, nope. I'm going to study law or medicine. I want to help people. It beats me why the kid's the strongest guy in the world. He could made a fortune. He must be screwy. So we show that he basically got an ideal. He wants to pay off the mortgage on his house. So he goes to Maryville, which is his home. As he pops into his house, we see his mother. And he says that she is dead, lying on the floor, and there's a letter in her hands. So those rats have foreclosed, and mother, go. They killed her. They and their phony racket. I'll get them if it's the last thing I do. So Hercules storms up to this guy's office, and he is talking about how it's this guy's fault that his mother is dead. And he's like, well, I was going to extend the mortgage, and they call in some other strong men to come after him, and he doesn't let that stop him. He starts throwing guys out the door. You can see the door breaking in half. And then this is weird. You see the door breaking in half, and the lady calls the cops, and then the cop comes through a door that is not broken in half. I don't know how the police got there so fast, but no sooner did she hang up the phone that he's there. So they take Hercules away and they throw him in jail, and he's trying to proclaim that he is innocent. Now this part tickles me right here. This guy is like, why don't you, use your strength for good? They do it all the time in the comics. Just look at Doll Man, for instance. And I find that hilarious because Doll Man is also done by Quality Comics. So the fact that he's bringing it up is kind of funny. So he gets the idea, and when the cop goes to check on Hercules, he's like, how's our newest guy? And he goes, the guy's sitting in the jail cell. He didn't want to escape. He went out for some fresh air, guard. That's funny. I actually like that. And then the next panel is a little self-referential. The news of Hercules escape rocks the city. Hercules escape. Look at this headline. For the first time outside of comic books has anything like this occurred. That's hilarious. They just say that. Now, there's a couple of times where they go outside of the panels for their stories. And if you followed me for a while, you know I hate when people go outside of their panels. They should keep their story within the panels. Having to go outside, it just, I don't know. It's just annoying that you can't keep everything in your panels like you're supposed to. That's how paneling works. So Hercules goes back and confronts the guy he confronted before, and he's completely surprised and flabbergasted that Hercules is there. Just look at the expression on his face. And you see, Hercules punches the guy over the desk, and time again, I'm trying to figure out how Hercules didn't kill anybody while punching them. This guy has the power to lift fire trucks, and he's punching people in the face and subduing them. And they never talk about him pulling his punches, so he had to be killing people while punching them. So he punches the guy over the desk. Looks like he might have thrown him. And he says that there's enough evidence, to hang him. And then he goes over to the safe and rips that's gotta be a gun safe. And he rips the panel right off of it and said, now for, I cannot pronounce this guy, Yeeps, Jyppe. I don't even know how you pronounce that name. He says he escaped. So Hercules searches the panel through which he escapes, as it sounds hollow. punches through it and it says, "But waiting for him at the foot of the stairs. Let him have it. This is fine. The whole gang is the whole gang to welcome me." He beats up all the guys that are shooting at him. The main bad guy drops a concrete block onto him, which he catches and throws back up to knock him off of this catwalk. Grabs him and decides to take him and the evidence to jail along with all the other crooks. Now they bring his cellmate out and try to talk to him, and the cellmate's like, "Look, this guy's honest." And then we see him coming in through the door carrying at least 4 different people. "Here are the racketeers who prey upon poor people, and I'll prove their guilt. It may be, but I'm holding you for jailbreak just in case it turns out to be phony." He just says he's holding him for jailbreak in case this doesn't turn out to be legit. Him breaking out of jail had nothing to do with the racketeers, so the jailbreak should be a separate issue. And he goes, "Well, looks like I've got to escape again. Wait, Herc, don't do nothing bad, Herc. They can't help you here. Let me call a mouthpiece. Okay." Birch's lawyer arrives and Hercules tells him the story. "With the evidence we've got, it's a cinch." So they find out that these guys really are criminals, and they let Herc go free, which he still needs to pay for the jailbreak. If nothing else, he needs to pay for the jail cell that they now can't use until they patch up the wall. Later, what you gonna do? Well, kid, what you gonna do? Keep fighting crime. And so Hercules leaves, little realizing a danger ahead in his fight against crime. Follow the adventures of Hercules in Hit Comics. Now, as I said, he does go on until issue 21, and I'm showing you the last page of the last issue. He picked up and threw what I can only assume is an African bull elephant. And this is what I mean about him saying he doesn't kill the guys. This elephant is laying on top of the guy, and he's saying he's alive and he'll live long enough to serve a jail sentence. First of all, there's no way this guy is alive with his bottom half crushed by an elephant. And if somehow, by some incredible stroke of luck, if he did survive, when that elephant gets lifted off of him, crush is going to set in, and all those toxins that are built up in the bottom part of his body that is completely smashed is going to flood into his body, and he'll be dead in a matter of moments. That's the best I can explain about Crush. His body is completely destroyed, and I'm also putting up another panel here. You see him hitting people. With the strength of Hercules, these guys are dead. Okay, so that does it for Hercules. Like I said, some slight popularity, crime fighter, occasionally had to scoot out from the law. Oh, 2 more panels I'm going to show is him breaking out of concrete in one of these, and apparently he's also incredibly fast, because also I'm showing in this panel right here, he catches up to a speeding car and the guy says, it's like, step on it, I'm going 90 now. So along with his strength and durability, he was also incredibly fast, which didn't come up very often, but it shows that he also did have speed. He's supposed to be Hercules, not Hermes, but anyways. So that does it for Hercules. Okay, I hope you liked this video. I hope that you like what we did with these last couple of videos. I'm not going to be touching Hercules again for a little while, even though there is more to do. I have been asked to review some more metaphysical characters or mythology-laced characters. So we're going to go ahead and get into those because those are interesting all of their own. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you come back for some more. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.